Welcome to Tunnel Talk, a no facts, all feelings wrestling podcast on the Social Suplex Network. I'm Allie.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Leah.
How are you guys doing?
At least it's almost the weekend.
Dar Williams, February, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. I have lost to February, huh? Amen, sister.
How are you, Allie?
I don't know. I lost. I'm not hanging in there. Although it did get up in the 50s today. But I'm tired of being in the part of the year where we all have to really just be exchanging the temperature a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to. You really have no choice because it's like you got to be like this, what's going on here? But, Lee and I are watching Supernatural together now, so that's how it's going.
Gondor has fallen.
How it started, how it's going, am I right? To just jump
you guys are like
Supernatural.
You guys are like almost done. What are you going to do when you hit the end?
I genuinely don't know, and I'm afraid. I'm really, I think that this is going to be a huge problem. Supernatural's been propping up my my sanity for a long time, so if I finish Supernatural and it's not spring yet, I don't know what I'm going to do.
You could watch Monk. Look at her face. That's so sick. It's a great TV show. Look at you.
We all have our individual passions, you know?
I mean, I meant a good show, like Supernatural.
Jesus Christ. Supernatural is, I have to tell you guys, let's get frank and honest in this space. Season 14 of Supernatural is some of the direst television I've ever seen with my eyes. And
just when you say the word season 14 of Supernatural, it's like...
And I realized today, because I was looking, I was like, how many more episodes are there? And unfortunately, Leah, you want to say the episode we're on?
We are on season 14, episode 20. We have two more left in the season.
Wow.
We just finished 19 and we're up to 20. We have two more left in the season, and then there are 20 episodes in season 15, and then I'm going to have a full Menti B.
Leah, you're going to be fine.
It'll probably be March by then. So that's like a whole different situation.
It'll definitely be March by then.
I hope it'll be March by then, yeah.
We've been shoveling those episodes through our
down our
we have another week. There's another week left of February.
And it's a leap year, that's true.
It's a leap year, 7 days, yeah. Okay, well, could be like next week then, but... But next week would be March. Leah, if we can pace it out over 7 days.
Please don't watch 22 episodes in 7 days.
But I do think it's pretty egregious that when you look at the great shows that it's like maybe they did get 5 seasons even, but it's like 20 episodes, 13 episodes, 8 episodes, you know, season by season. Supernatural, it's getting at least 20 episodes all the way up to the end.
All the way to the end.
My God. And they do not use the time well. I would say that. They do not.
How could you say that after the Scooby-Doo animated episode?
Is there really an animated episode?
And we got into it and we were like, why is this happening? Was this like, and I'm saying like, well, there was that new Scooby-Doo animated show like a couple years ago. Maybe this was like a, you know, what's corporate synergy thing. So I looked it up. No, the timelines don't match. Instead, I find an article about the episode where the only explanation for why it happened is just that the show creator just goes, we always thought that Scooby-Doo would be a great fit. And that it would be fun to do an animated episode. It was like, you always thought that Scooby-Doo would be a great fit.
Leah, maybe you should start watching Scooby-Doo once you run out of Supernatural episodes.
Wow. I think that would be really good for my personality. If I just became a font of like Scooby-Doo references. Like if we're watching wrestling and I'm like, this reminds me of a Scooby-Doo episode.
I have to tell you, I don't think that would happen because I have watched a lot of Scooby-Doo actually, and you don't remember most of what happens, to be quite honest. It's a fast-flowing river, okay?
There's kind of like one Scooby-Doo plot, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a man in an outfit. Yeah, pretty much. The new series Mystery Inc., which I don't recommend, to be clear. I don't want to talk about things that have happened to me that's like a reason that I've watched. You know, I don't know why I've seen it. I have. But anyway, that one has some slightly different plots because they toy with the idea that magic is real. And sometimes it is, but mostly they do just solve mysteries where it isn't. So
interesting.
They really play in the space. And again, it's not a recommendation as such.
I do like a conception of the world that's like magic mostly isn't real, but once in a while something weird happens, but mostly no.
Yeah. It's a real overarching magic plot, but then just the week-to-week stuff is not magical, mostly. So, did anyone take in any like media that we can brag about this week? That we can speak well of ourselves for? Did any of you enrich your minds, myself included?
I've been watching True Detective season 4. I don't know if that's mind enriching, but
you tell me. I haven't seen it. How's your mind feeling? Dense?
Well, some ghost stuff started happening, and unfortunately, a certain kind of ghost thing will really freak me out. So then I had to stop watching it, which is a little bit embarrassing. But I am going to finish it. Yeah. So, but it's good. It's very atmospheric. I mean, it's up in Alaska in the long night, and I don't think that would be good for my mental health.
I know it wouldn't, Anne. I know it would not. I don't think that you should move to Alaska.
No.
Okay. And Leah's
well,
just
now that we've nipped that in the bud.
Leah's looking at me. She goes, I've been watching Supernatural. I haven't been enriching my mind, so let's move on. I started reading a Stephen King book, but it's not enriching me yet. And probably won't.
Which book?
It's called Finders Keepers. And one interesting thing about it, I will say, and I love Stephen King, but it is set in, thus far, it's set in like 1978 and 2010. It's like going back and forth. And in 2010, you're in like a child's point of view. And I'm listening to the audiobook. I was listening to it in the car earlier. And I was like, wow, Stephen King has not updated his idea of how a child would think since at least the 80s. Like, there are so many things happening in this child's perspective that it's just like, Stephen, that's not what's happening anymore. But I kind of loved it. I was just like, oh, it's like he just said, like, this is my conception of a child's mind. I won't be changing it. And I'm not arguing with him. I think it's stylistically fun, but also absolutely ludicrous. So
a little distressing how long ago 2010 was. It's a little period piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hadn't thought about it that way yet, Em. But anyway, I think we better move on to the wrestling that we're also excited to talk about. A bit of a rough week for the girls, huh?
Yeah.
And it started out pretty bright because let me read the tweet that delighted me and continues to delight me today from AEW on TV, where they said, this is your 60-minute warning to get your snacks, group chat, and other sundries together as AEW Dynamite goes live at 8/7 Central on TBS Network. I read that and was just like, oh, thank you, AEW on TV. I will gather my snacks, my group chat, and my other sundries.
All we did was ask our group chat what sundries we'd gathered, and we really got quite a little litany from everybody. When I came up to do this podcast, I thought, oh, my sundries, I better get them. And I did. Let me tell you, I brought them up here.
I do think it's gonna linger in our lexicon for quite a while.
Intrusive. So. And it's like, I don't know why. Like, of course, it's just a normal word, but to just be told by your wrestling Twitter that you need to make sure you gather your sundries before the wrestling starts charmed me so much. One must always keep in mind one's sundries. But then we hated the first hour of the show, unfortunately.
Just not the best hour. We had to watch Dax Arwood for a long time.
We had to watch him for a long time. Well, we don't have to talk about that yet. We are going to start with Little OC. So poor Tony Khan tweeted on Wednesday that this week's Dynamite had been one of the most hectic and impacted by injuries and unexpected availabilities ever. So the first hour to us did really reflect that because we didn't love what was happening. So first up, with a last-minute change, we had Orange Cassidy fighting Mike Bennett, which was not scheduled. Orange Cassidy won, but afterwards, Roddy Strong and Matt Taven showed up for a post-match beatdown. And because all of OC's friends are injured, except Rocky, who does go here now, but didn't come help. Jake Hager ran out to save him. I guess because he is an Oklahoma boy and they were in Oklahoma. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he came out, he drove off the Undisputed Kingdom, helped OC to his feet, and left again. And apparently he will fight Roddy on Rampage we had to get into this, but it's with a bull mascot ringside with him. Is that correct?
It's some kind of mascot. So cage match where I get the card and I put it in our schedule for Allie was like Jake Hager is coming down with Hornby, and Allie was like, "Who the hell is Hornby?" And I hadn't even noticed it. I was like, I don't know, probably a guy. And so I did some Googling.
Classic
and I was like,
wrestler, Nick
classic
Hornby.
wrestler. Everybody knows Hornby. He was in New Japan. Turns out he's a mascot.
Yeah, he's a mascot. He looks to be a blue. To my untrained eye, he looked to be a blue bull. But you let us know if that's wrong. And yeah, so Jake Hager's going to fight Roddy. That's the first person that Roddy has fought one-on-one in this whole feud. True or false?
I'm pretty sure true.
So.
But yeah. And why is it happening on Rampage? And why is it like JK? Like it just is. I'm like, put that on Dynamite. Roddy's the one that has to prove himself.
Roddy has no interest in proving himself. I mean that is coming through loud and clear.
Yeah.
Roddy's vibe in this feud is just like, of course I want the belt, but I don't want to do anything to get it.
Yeah, if they're trying to hype me up to watch Roddy wrestle, it's not being very successful. And remember when they pitched this whole feud, like the feud was starting, and we were like, oh my God, we might get to see best friends wrestle. And now we're watching Jake Hager wrestle Roddy. It's just like, okay, well, that's
somewhere I feel like Tony Khan is like high pitched and is like, well, and I didn't want that either.
Actually, I know there were unexpected unavailabilities.
I have saged the backstage, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
No. It's like one of those unexpected unavailabilities is just Dustin being like, I don't wanna. I'd really rather not. Oh, anyway, we'll never see any of our men again. But we did see OC. I almost just said OC fight Jake Hager. It's like I've already forgotten what happened. He fought Mike Bennett.
It was just so confusing when Jake Hager ran out there, especially because he does just look like a large OC. And it's like, is that why he feels the need to defend OC? Like, is Jake Hager good now? What's going on with Jake Hager? I haven't checked in lately.
I think the Jericho Society turned face when they turned on Jericho. So I think that Danny, Matt Menard, Jeff Parker, and Jake Hager are all faces now.
None of those people still hang out, though.
Only Matt and Danny. And it's kind of like, Jeff Parker, were you supposed to take Jake Hager with you when you moved out? Because it's like he's your large man that you adopted. But then you left him in the backyard, and Matt Menard is so distracted because he's trying to get Danny into a good college that he hasn't checked in about it. So it's like, is Jake just wandering the neighborhood? Like, just getting fed by, just people are leaving little cups of milk out for him? Like a big old stray cat?
And best friends is always the faction that picks up stray cats. Like,
yeah,
always.
that's true.
Really do. Yeah.
Oh, but when you put it that way, it's so sweet to think about them. It's just, that's the one thing Dustin's still doing. It's just like, why is this man in here? Dustin's like, I let him in. He looks sad.
But then did Dustin wrestle with them? No, it's OC out there with Hook and Danhausen and Jake Hager.
Yeah, it's a classic family. Dustin says, yeah, come home. There's enough dinner for everyone, but who's actually making the dinner?
Who's cooking the meal?
Yeah.
Who's making the stir fry? I'm just imagining him walking in. Chuck Taylor is playing video games. OC goes into the kitchen. Jake Hager's crouched on the floor with the fridge door open, eating a sub that he found in there. It's just like this man is not house trained.
And but the thing about the best friends is they're like, yeah. You know, like Greg's actively sitting at the kitchen table watching it happen, going, wow.
OC walks back out and he's like, Dustin, I told you I was saving that sub. And Dustin's like, did you eat the sub? It's fine. I'll get you another sub.
I'll get you another sub.
But he won't get him another sub.
No.
He never will.
He never will. Wow. Okay, well, we made ourselves happy, you know?
If only they were showing us this kind of promo backstage, it would really sell me on Jake Hager.
It's good that we'll never see it, because then I just have to see everybody say it's dumb, and I
Sometimes I really want to like airdrop our ideas to Tony Khan. We're like, we've come up with something so smart here, and I really like you should pay us for this, but like I would let you pitch it for free. And then there's times like this where I'm like, imagine if we did get to pitch it and we were like, okay, so Tony, OC's standing at the stove making a stir fry. Jake Hager is on all fours eating a stuff out of the fridge. Greg is at the kitchen table cheering him on. Dustin is in the living room playing video games and has been there for 14 hours. So this is how the promo starts. It sells 1 million pay-per-views.
You know, the thing is, nobody, like, it's like, imagine it's a magic box and you reach in and you get an idea for free, right? That's what we are right now. It's too much power for any one person if all of those ideas are usable. They shouldn't be.
I mean, they're for free. What do you expect?
Some of them are going to be niche ideas that are only for fun-loving girls. It's not a crime for us to think of ourselves now and then.
I do like to think, because Leah does enjoy airdropping repulsive things to people sometimes.
It is my favorite activity.
Airdropping things to Tony Khan, or him looking at his phone and being like, oh God, what is this?
Oh, wow, to have that power. Oh my God, I don't know what the hell we're talking about. To be honest. You guys
just some Oklahoma good times, I mean.
Just to give you guys an idea of where we're coming from, I should have said this right up front. We are playing a game at the end of the episode today where we will be sorting wrestlers into the Percy Jackson Olympus summer camp houses that are just the different Greek gods' children because they fuck so much. So that's the game. And we've been talking about how excited we are all day. And it's like, just got to get through a couple of little topics before we can play our game.
It was the idea of someone in our social Suplex Discord, and we asked for ideas for games, and this person came up with it, and I think all of our mouths dropped immediately.
Yeah, immediately. We were like, that's what we need. I think it was numeral. Thank you, numeral.
Yes, thank you, numeral. Yeah. I just wished in that moment, I was like, I don't want to watch Dynamite. I want to time travel to this segment.
Yeah. So if
I know. And we've all been taking it really seriously. Like, I gave myself a little headache because I was concentrating so hard on sorting them.
It was hard, and
it's really hard.
I mean, I'm glad some that we're going to talk about it together, because I have a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. So that's the energy we're bringing to that. I don't know. We're talking about Oklahoma good timing. We're talking about Jake Hager and his sub. What are you going to say? Do you want to talk about OC's character? I don't feel up to it. Do you want to?
No.
No, it's interesting that he cares now. I think one of these weeks we should get into
the
evolution of OC. But
I just thought it was incredibly startling for the doctor to be like, technically he's cleared, and for OC to be like, technically it means I am, so therefore I will be wrestling. And I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, he's really getting that belt really gave him a lot of energy. That's like a full Red Bull belt.
Power up.
Yeah, power up for sure. Yeah. A little invincibility star.
It is very interesting. What match do you think that we were going to get? So I guess it's like Greg didn't get cleared, or he was sick or something, so Greggy's not there. So Greg was supposed to fight. Do you think it was going to be Greg OC versus... Yeah.
I heard two different speculations. One was that it was supposed to be Greg and OC versus the Kingdom, but then I heard someone else saying it was supposed to be OC versus Greg, and I was like,
that can't be right, because
that can't be right.
There.
I mean, I do want to see that at some point, but not like this.
I think
I mean, I think we have seen it.
Yeah,
we have
seen for the belt.
But I mean, I think if there is a heel turn coming,
you got to set it up a little bit. You can't just announce the match 30 minutes before the show. Yeah.
I hope it's good when it happens.
What if Greg betrays OC at Revolution?
I'm going to kill you.
Oh, my God.
I feel so sick and sad. Will I ever eat again? My family, you're tearing my family apart. They should be buying subs for each other, but you're going to make them move into different buildings. My family. I'm Dax now. My family. You're hurting my family, Tony Khan. Whatever. Okay. Let's move on to talking about a member of the Undisputed Kingdom who did not come out and beat down OC because I guess he was busy getting ready for this interview where he shoved Tony Schiavone out of the ring, I think. And it's Wardlow. That's the man that we're discussing. And he cut an in-ring promo. Okay, let's get serious because I think we've got some interesting stuff to say about this. So he cut this promo in which he was bemoaning the fact that he's gotten a ton of pushes but isn't over. And he yelled a lot in this promo, which is pretty classic. Mm-hmm. I will say, I think it was probably a more coherent promo than other promos that he has given. But I personally did not enjoy it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I listened to this and I was like, why do so many of these men think that whining makes them seem cool or sympathetic? And I know he was getting booed and I guess he was working heel, but it was
working heel, yeah.
If I have to hear one more of these little entitled bitches complain that they're booking, they haven't gotten the chances they should have gotten because they're so great, like I am just going to lose my mind.
It's not what I want to be hearing. I don't know why they think it makes them look sympathetic or that people will be persuaded, where I'm like, if you court the anti-AEW crowd, like that is a taint you can't, like you then just can't get off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Danhausen's like in that place where it's like there's nothing Danhausen can do now that like is going to charm I don't know. It's just like I'm like, Wardlow, don't go where I won't follow.
You're playing with fire. You get on your little Twitter, like your Rickies and your Dax Harwoods and your Dan Houses, and you start whining all the time. Like you are dead to me, and you will stay dead to me. It's very hard to come back from.
So true. If you're going to play with fire, that's okay, but you are going to get burned by our asses, by these little girlies. I really didn't like it. I think I'm trying to like express, because I feel like it got a little more traction than I would have expected, where I was like, this is a pretty classic Wardlow promo to me, where this is approximately the only thing I've ever heard him say. Is just like, I should be really big, but I'm not. And that's everybody else's fault. And I am pretty firmly in the camp of like, I just really think it's your fault. I think that you've had a lot of opportunities, and there were so many moments when I was screaming at you to do something interesting and you just wouldn't.
Yeah, it seemed like his delivery was good and clear, I guess. Like, I don't know if that's what people were reacting to who liked it, but it was just like, but he was saying repulsive things. And it's like, it's so annoying too when someone is getting in-ring time to give an in-ring promo and then complaining that they're like not getting enough attention. And it's like, you're getting so many chances.
Well, it's like, it felt to me like he's like, I want that back where I'm doing one squash every single week, where I do the same thing where I take a jobber and I power bomb him 1,000 times. And I'm like, that's why your career didn't take off.
You killed your
never
character.
Did anything else.
Yeah.
You killed your
and
character.
That can't be, like, maybe Tony only, let's do a hypothetical here for a second, where it's like, let's say Tony's only giving him squashes. Well, he doesn't have to do the thing where he doesn't have to do nothing but a power bomb symphony.
Mm-hmm.
But he could have been doing anything else. He could have been, like, he had promos sometimes in there. He could have been exploring other things. He just didn't. So then he stopped getting the squashes and now he's sad.
Yeah.
he's just convinced me very thoroughly that it's like his natural place is to be somebody else's goon. You know, it's like that's what he's good for. Like he's had the chances to do other things and he can't. So it's like Ricky. It's like he's an upper mid-card guy at best. Like he has gotten nothing but chances to do more than that, but he's not capable of it. So and that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with being those people, but like
and I think at the very least, it's like what differentiates this approach from any of his previous approaches, where it's like even when he was a face, how did he lose us as a face? It was by like we thought that he was going to do something with his character that we felt was really facey, like that it's like you have a chance to like make yourself really sympathetic and like someone who stands up for other people sometimes, or like who has a moral backbone of some kind. And instead, he was like really selfish and whined a lot as a face. And so now as a heel, he's doing the same thing. And it's like, this is the only content I've ever gotten from him. I'm happy to be corrected about it. But like, there were like 5 seconds where I thought he was going to be like a basement dwelling like loser when he was doing the 3 Wolf Moon shirt, and I actually loved that. I was so excited for him to be kind of like a sad fucking loser, and he wouldn't do that. So
wrestlers are really unwilling to embrace being a sad loser, and really that wins us over like nothing else.
God.
I know, and like that. I mean, that also could have been an interesting thing for Adam Cole to do, because Adam Cole is desperate to be on TV, even though he's injured, and really like that attitude to be rubbing off on other people. But like they could have done a bit where like Wardlow's self-confidence was gone, and like really like he was like not working out as much, like feeling really sad, and it, like Adam Cole like was like, you're part of my faction now, and kind of like did this whole like, I don't know, Rocky thing. Is that what Rocky's about?
I don't know why you're asking me. Do you mean like, is there kind of like a training montage, or like someone like, does someone like hype someone up? If I had to guess, probably.
I do believe,
I can't wait to get some messages about this. I know we will. We don't know the plot of Rocky.
People get really upset when they find out that people haven't watched Rocky. So,
and is it none of us? Have none of us seen it?
No, I might have seen it like once as a child.
Girls, that's impressive.
I don't remember anything about it.
A round of applause for the ladies here. But I'm sure there was some kind of something like that in Rocky, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but I just, you know what I mean, though? Like, that would have been, like, hammy Adam Cole would have loved to do that for Wardlow. And then, you know what? He probably would have gotten us on board where we were like, climb those stairs, Wardlow, you can do it.
I do think more wrestlers need to realize that, like, in this day and age, like, vulnerability is what gets people, like, on your side and rooting for you, because they need to be willing to show, like, I am in a deep depression. Like, Wardlow should be growing, like, a horrible depression beard and coming out in sweats, you know?
I miss that man we made up. Wardlow, who's a great boyfriend who shovels your driveway. I miss him. I only had him for a week, but I liked him.
There have been many times when we were intrigued by Wardlow, and he's just squandered every opportunity. But it is like, if you were willing to be like like when Roddy was the most pathetic man on earth, and we've lost that Roddy too, and it's a crying
he's being
shame.
pathetic in a different way. But you know, I'm having kind of a nascent idea here, where I also was like, is Wardlow, so Wardlow's in the Undisputed Kingdom, but I haven't seen him do like anything that kind of plays with or responds to that context. Like his vibe is just kind of like, yeah, I'm technically in that faction because of circumstances, but I'm still Wardlow underpushed and I need to be pushed. And it's kind of like, can you just respond to the things that are happening around you in a way that I'm like, oh, this isn't like a static little, like NPC who can only say 3 things. Like things happen near him and he thinks about them and they change the way he's thinking and feeling, and then he says new things as a response to that. That's what I think a character should do. Sue me.
Yeah. I think interactions between characters really go a long way into establishing characters and making you interested in dynamics. But no.
You know, one movie where there is kind of a montage where it's like someone's feeling really low, but then they get hyped up?
What?
The Mighty Ducks.
The one sports movie that we've seen? Yeah. I thought you were going to say Wet Hot American Summer, also a great training montage.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I saw that pretty recently, actually. I think I watched that with you.
I think we did watch it, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Where are we?
We keep getting lost in our little imagines.
And what are we doing? Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs are going to be in some kind of a meat madness match with some other men. And I do think that Meat Forever is fun and funny, and I think the Meat Boys can fight each other if they want to. I don't care about this. I guess they have to find some other big men.
Here's the thing. If they just do like a normal punch hard match, then that will be boring. But if they make it a circus, the way that one crowd made it a circus against Hobbs's will last time, I love that.
It should get kind of gladiatorial. You want the crowd to be kind of manic in their enjoyment of the meat sounds, the wet meat sounds.
That's what I want. Yeah. If that happens, I will get into it. But if they
I'll be impressed with Hobbs and Wardlow if they understand that circus energy is what's necessary here for a meat madness match, because last time it was Miro pushing Hobbs into it. So Miro does.
Miro understood. Miro was like, we are seals clapping right now.
You know, I have to say, of course, we've been annoyed at Miro like many times for it's like he doesn't want to do anything really, but in some ways he is an admirable, relatable king because he don't want to work. If he does work, he wants to look good. But then when he works, like, he is good at what he does. That was a real example of it's just like, oh, sir, you do understand your art. You know what's up.
It's too bad he doesn't practice his art more often.
No, doesn't really. But
I miss when I really enjoyed Miro at the time when he used to wrestle.
Maybe he'll come back for Meat Madness.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe good Miro will finally
Do we
return.
have any other meaty men? Any other big meaty men?
Surely we do, but Jake Hager is... Keith Lee.
Haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
Jake Hager is kind of not like, he's so big, but he doesn't have that
round,
meaty quality. You really want the pecs to be popping in a certain way for the meat. Shall we move on? Do you think that's quite enough of that? Because I do. Alrighty. Let's check in on the title scenes. So we had Hangman, Rob Van Dam, and Hook fighting Swerve, Samoa Joe, and Brian Cage in the main event on Dynamite. We did have a Hangman, RVD, and Hook promo that did like a little work to explain their temporary affiliation and kind of advance Hangman's heel turn a little bit because he was so intense, just being like, we have got to beat Swerve. And I loved RVD and Hook just being like, okay, man.
Like, I guess. Yeah. Hangman's like, we have to hurt him. This is our opportunity to hurt him. And RVD just looked like, okay, it was the most I've liked. It was RVD.
Great.
It was really charming me.
What did RVD say? He was like, so I heard that Prince Nana has great, and I think he was going to say weed. And Hangman was like, stop it.
It was a pretty fun promo. So they had this 6-man. I think Samoa Joe like choked RVD all the way out. So then the ref called it for him winner. They called him the winner. And the other thing that was going on was just that at the end of the match, Hangman appeared to hurt his ankle and was kind of being like, don't film me. And then there were reports that he left and his ankle was hurt. And then there were multiple back and forths in the IWC. Oh, hi, Dolly. About, his ankle is hurt or his ankle isn't hurt. And they think they landed on it isn't hurt, but who knows? And I like Jerry Lynn hopped online and said, God forbid we end on a cliffhanger.
Like, we're trying to put on a show here. You people keep ruining it.
Honestly,
a man can't pretend to hurt his ankle in peace around here.
That was literally one of the best.
Hey, wrestling isn't real, you nerds.
I was obsessed with that. I was just like, that's so real. Like, if I were trying to run a little theater, a little pantomime, and everyone just kept being like, oh, is it real or not? I would be pissed off. So I love Jerry Lynn just being like, oh, shut the fuck up.
And I do love if it was a work that Hangman was being like, don't film me, and then like acting really mad about it. It's like, yeah, that man understands that people understand what a work is now, and so you got to work them a little.
You got to double
one level deeper. You got to go a little farther.
It's kind of depressing that he thought he was safe backstage, and then one of his esteemed colleagues was like, "Oh yeah, SRS. He was walking around. He was fine."
Anyway, it's like, do you know that you're putting on a show? Look, we don't know anything that's going on, and
I mean, my family and I all saw him walking around backstage.
Leah, you intimating something?
Addicted to talking.
I don't know how to shut the fuck up.
Shut
Not
up.
us, though. We shut up all the time. What did you guys think about this match? Any thoughts on kind of how it played out?
It was fun. I mean, Hangman and Swerve together, there were very sexy moments where it's like it's a multi-man and then they finally get in the ring together and they're staring, and like that to me is like a very sexy dynamic when you have like a multi-man and things are happening, and then the two men who are really compelling together finally face off and everyone freaks out.
The two men that are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Right. Not all the extras that we gathered for some reason. And then it was also hilarious when Samoa Joe like tried to get in on Swerve and Hangman's deal, and they kept like kind of kicking him to the side and just staring at each other.
The choreography of that section was impeccable, too perfect, because he really did have an energy of like, and I'm here too. And Hangman especially was explicitly being like, not to me, you are. I do not think so. Did it give you any thoughts about where we're heading at Revolution?
No, not really at all. I
have no idea.
Yeah, totally still on the fence. I feel like it could go any direction, really. I guess it's good.
I also kind of feel like at this point, everything's been going so well that I'm like, no matter what the outcome is, I think that I'll trust it and be like, yeah, let's see this play out. Like,
yeah.
If Samoa Joe retains, it's like, yeah, okay, so that's fine because, you know, I didn't really want Swerve to win there. Okay, fine. If Swerve does win, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, hopefully it's going to be a good reign. If Hangman wins, I'm going to be like, good, I hope he gets a sexy reign and Swerve changes them. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like I can't lose.
Yeah. I feel like as long as they're committed to the Swerve Hangman storyline, which it feels like they are, I mean, they've really been keeping it going, like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, don't worry. We're feeling very well fed. Unlike Wardlow, we're feeling well fed.
Yeah.
So I agree. I kind of think that Joe is going to retain just because their behavior is so, Swerve and Hangman's behavior is so insane that I'm kind of like, guys, you can't win a high level sports match in this condition when you're just so focused on each other's everything. You know, it's not going to work out for you. You've got to get in your own ways here.
And honestly, it would be pretty good for Samoa Joe if he ends up like embarrassing them in some way. Like, I don't even know how, but to be like, y'all thought I wasn't in this match? Fuck you.
I was sitting here and I was like, I wish there were a way that he could win this match and like turn around and triumph and realize they didn't notice. And I was like, I guess if it were a ladder match, and if it were a ladder match, it's like he could take 10 minutes to climb up there to get his little donut, and then he would look down and triumph, and it's like they're just dry humping in the corner. Like they're angry dry humping. He's like, I won. I am still the champion.
The match is over. I like how you said that you can't have a high-level sporting event when you're so focused on each other, because it really sounded like it was like the ancient Greeks or Romans, I forget which, but they like wouldn't have sex on the eve of a battle because it would like sap their life force, and they didn't think it was manly to be like not able to control yourself, like to just want to have sex all the time. Sure. So anyway, just you wouldn't want to, dilute your energy.
You would not want to dilute your energy. That's a little sports recommendation from the girls. Don't dilute your energy. Well, I just had to stare into space about that for a minute, but any other thoughts about, Brian Cage did cut a little promo on Rampage. We just enjoyed that together before recording. Honestly, first interesting energy in a while. We've said it before. We'll say it again.
Yeah, he's really obsessed with Hook. Just extremely.
His vibe is so funny right now. He's just really fixated where he's like, Hook, I've been thinking about you nonstop. I wake up in the morning and I think about how annoyed I am by you.
It's very like, Hook is taking the time that should go to me. It's like, is he? Like, of all the people, like, that's a Brian Cage
Hook isn't
earmarked
taking
time.
that much time, and you've never gotten that much time.
No, it's just like, that doesn't seem like the real reason that you're obsessed with Hook.
But you know what? We, of course, would hesitate to speculate about what's going on there. So
we just say what we see.
We only ever say what we see. But sometimes we say things that we see in our minds. And that's science, too. All right, so let's move into the daddy issues portion of the evening. So Danny Garcia came out on Dynamite for a little interview with Tony Schiavone, who was like, Adam Copeland got chaired to hell and back, so he won't be able to fight. So just by default, you will get the title shot against Christian Cage at Revolution. And Danny did a promo, a really good little promo, babyface promo in the ring, being like, thanking the crowd for getting behind him and for having his back and the whole deal, and being like, and I can't wait to, really murder Christian at Revolution, at which point Christian and the patriarchy came out and Christian hopped on the mic. And we were pretty low. At this point in the episode, we were feeling pretty low. Yeah. We had not gotten a lot of content that we were loving. But we should have known the second that we saw Christian in his little tank top, we should have known that man is about to give us everything we want and more. He did cut a promo where he appeared to dox Danny Garcia's mom and then was like, he said, I understand that David Garcia is your father and your father is dead. The stinger of that moment where you were like, it's like we were about to go into the oh yeah.
And the crowd went ape shit for it. The roar that went up, everyone was like, is he gonna say it? Is he gonna say it? He's gonna say it.
I was losing it in this moment because I was just sitting there how is he finding all of these fatherless boys? And then I was like, I think at this point they are rat-a-tat-tatting on his door being like, please do a storyline with me where you're mean about my dead dad on TV. Please, my dad is dead. Please talk about it on TV. I'm begging you, Christian. I'm begging you.
I saw a meme going around that was a sign-up sheet for feuds with Christian. It was name, affiliation, years your father's been dead.
The fact that this just happened organically too, that it's coming to him. It feels so beautiful. He's so funny. He's so funny. He told Danny Garcia, and I like your dance moves and gyrations just fine. She's just
and then he gave an address for Danny Garcia's mom, and then when somebody looked it up, it was a cemetery.
I mean, no one's doing it like him,
Nobody's doing it like him.
Fantastic. So then Danny wasn't happy about this, I think understandably.
No,
and he said, since you know so much about my dead father, why don't you come to the ring and I'll put you in the ground right next to him. Okay, big boy. Okay, big grown-up boy. So,
they all want to bury Christian. Didn't Jungle Boy put him in a little
put him in a literal grave, yeah. Mm-hmm. He graved him, yeah. And he did say, I have to read this line, at the end of Christian's promo, at Revolution, I don't want to be your opponent. I want to be your father. It's like, wow.
Everybody wants to be Daniel Garcia's father.
Get a psychologist in here, because we got to talk about what's going on.
It was so heartwarming, though, that Matt Menard flew up onto the ring to say he has a father. He has a father. And I was like, I know he does.
He still has one.
He may have lost a father to California, but he's still got one.
He's got a dead father, a deadbeat father, but one good father remaining.
One good father. And that's all you need.
That's all you need. So Danny did take out Nick Wayne, and Matt Menard took out Luchasaurus, and we will get this match at Revolution.
And then Nick Wayne was sadly leaning his head against Christian, being cradled there, crying.
He did have real, I got a boo-boo face. Daddy, he hit me so hard.
The way that Nick Wayne is learning so much right now, because he already could wrestle really, really well. He was a prodigy, right? But, being with Christian, especially in this particular run in Christian's life, I feel like Nick Wayne is in, like, he went from high school to, like, Eton. Like, he is in a masterclass right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's so funny, though, that his mom is also out there. Like, I feel like if I was 18 and my mom came to work with me, I don't know if I'd be thrilled about it, but it's working great.
I got signed as soon as I turned 18 to this cool wrestling contract, and I get to be on TV every week. But my mom's also there.
She's also on TV with me. Oh, it's good.
Very great. Like you show up to your first day of college and your mom is your roommate. She's living in the dorm with you. She's like, surprise, but you know what? They're making it work. They're doing a good job. And then before our game, our final topic really quickly, Sting and Darby and there was a Sting Darby Bucks promo package on Rampage that we did watch right before recording that Darby did a voiceover on that was really normal. Like it was like everything that everyone was like, what if you said this maybe, bud? Last week he said it, where it's like, you really messed up our big moment and you shouldn't have done that and you're mean and I love Sting. It was like, great. It's so simple, but so perfect.
When you really boil down a wrestling promo, it's like, it's not rocket science. No. It's kind of first grade emotion.
Kind of easy stuff, yeah.
Like, even if they reversed what happened and, like, on Dynamite, Darby said what he said on the voiceover, and then on Rampage, if you really wanted to make a stupid joke about Cody, you could have stuck it there. Like, why didn't we do that?
You know, who can say why things happen? There's been a lot of unexpected things have happened, and there's been, so it's, you don't know. But, and then there was a package promo package on Dynamite this week that was Sting and Darby, and it was Darby showing us. I thought this was really, I mean, even the beginning, obviously the Sting stuff we'll get to in a minute, but even the beginning with Darby, I was like, this really feels very natural for you, Darby. You're doing a really good job. He said, can I show them these photos? And it's photos of Sting with his children, and he's being like, you hurt Sting's children, and it's like you have children around this age right now, which was kind of like, oh my god, more child threats. You love to hear it. And then Sting cut his part of the promo where he explained that his dad died last week, and legitimately, I watched this promo on the show, and then I watched it after the show, and I cried. Like his delivery. I said this on our in our group chat where I was like, not to be like, it feels kind of like wrong to be like, what an amazing theatrical delivery to a man who is experiencing genuine grief. But it was just kind of like, yes, Sting, this is quite effective. When you talk about like how time passes for everybody and you think it'll never catch up with you, but it caught up with you, the way that he delivered it, the way he said it, it was just like, fuck me. Okay, Mr. Shakespeare.
Yeah. It was really, I really enjoyed, through most of his part of the promo, the crowd was silent, but in like a spellbound way where everyone was hanging on every single one of his words. And then when he finally mentioned revolution or something that was like clear cut, the people to cheer for, the way they instantly in this relieved way were like, good, we can show our appreciation, because you can't like cheer to be like, yeah, your dad died, even though like you're like, I want to express my appreciation. Right. I just really liked it very much, how the crowd was just like...
They wanted
so bad to indicate to Sting that they were like in his corner. And but like, I don't know. I just liked it. I like when you can tell that the crowd is like, you're doing so good and I don't know how to tell you.
I know. Yeah. That's so real. And I mean, I think it was just it was very masterfully delivered. And, again, like, I'm really sorry, Sting. That sounded so mean. It's like, that sucks that your father died under any circumstances, and this is a really horrible time for it to happen, probably. I'm sure that you are struggling with that. You're a great artist, though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Right Absolutely. Through it. The art is top tier. So, I don't know. I just felt so moved.
Yeah.
Oof. Anyway... Anything else you guys want to say about this? Not to bring the tone down. No.
It's good.
It's good. Hey, when it's good, it's good.
I'm hoping that this might happen on Rampage, because the Bucks are on Rampage. So if they do a promo after their little squash match, I really want Matt to flip out about Darby even indirectly mentioning his kids. Like, I want him so bad to be like, That is inappropriate to threaten.
Find him. Find him.
Find him. How dare you mention children? Would you threaten my children? That is unacceptable behavior. Like, I just want that so bad.
Wrestling is so crazy because what do you think are the chances that Matt Jackson says something unhinged about Sting's dead father? They're not nil. They're not
nil. I mean, it's not as high as if it's, Christian, but it's not nil.
It's not nil. Well, I do hope he flips out. I hope he goes into big time mama bear mode. And I hope it's like when he's mama bearing, his hair is just like coming out of its low pony. Yeah. And he has to get
go into girl mode.
A hold on himself. Put it back.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to play a game?
Oh,
Let's
sure do.
Play a game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Leah, this is putting you on the spot a little, but because you are the most familiar with Percy Jackson, do you want to just explain the concept of what we're doing here?
Okay. So, like we said, this is numeral on our Social Suplex Discord's idea. If you want to join our Discord, it's in our link tree on our Twitter. But basically, for Percy Jackson, it's like if you are the child of a god and you get sent to this summer camp where each one of the cabins is dedicated to one of the 12 major Olympians, and there
are so many children at this camp that are all around the same age. Like, these gods are fucking constantly.
Because this is what we were saying when we watched it. We were like, if this camp was outside of time and so they were from all eras in history, it would be a little less insane. But it really is like they're going out there night after night and they're putting in the work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and like children tend to take on certain characteristics of each one of their godly parents. And so, in the series, Hera and Artemis don't have children because they don't fuck around. But I did give them. Yes. I broke that rule. Yeah. I was like, no, they'll be having children, and in my world, they'll be having children.
My only experience of Percy Jackson is that first season that we watched. So mine are just based on the Greek gods more than the Percy Jackson situation. So
I also posted to the three of us the Wikipedia cheat sheet of what's going on with each god to kind of also help. I know, Anne, you are well steeped in the classics, so you didn't need that. But I was like,
I really needed it.
I didn't expect you guys.
It turns out I don't know that much about the Greek gods. I would have said that I know a lot of these names, but I was thinking back to childhood and I was like, oh yeah, I had my books of Norse mythology that I like to read, but I didn't really get super into the Greeks. So there's a lot of stuff here. I was like, okay, I'm going on Quora and I'm being like, describe their personalities. I'm trying to figure out, I need to know more than I need to know what they're like. And so
some of their personalities are not really well defined. Like Poseidon, he's wet. He's the ocean. There's not a lot else going on there. Well, so you'll see when you get to my wrestlers.
I have arguments planned for some of them where I'm like, if you think about it this way, this will work. Some of them I will, if you guys have a better idea, I will drop mine. Yeah, but 100%. Another feature of Percy Jackson that I did take advantage of is that if you are the child of a minor god or your parent didn't claim you get shoved in the Hermes cabin. So some of these wrestlers are true Hermes children, and some of them are miscellaneous.
Now, so great. So that's great explanation, Leah. Thank you very much. I will just say, I think we'll just do this for as long as we're feeling it. So it's like, if you don't want to hear about the Greek gods, you can just drop out now. Nothing's happening after this. So don't worry about that. Love y'all so much. And how should we tackle this? Do you want to go person by person or do you want to go god by god?
I could go either way because I sorted mine by gods, so I could do it by cabin, but I could also sort it by...
I also sorted mine by gods, although I could go either way. Also,
Let's go god by god. But if I'm skipping over, because I definitely don't have all of them represented here, and I only did half the roster because I was struggling a little.
By the time I was getting to the R's, I was like, my God, I don't know. Santana, I don't know.
I shoved him in Hermes Other or whatever. I was just like, that's not a real, that's not happening.
That's exactly where I shoved him.
But anyway, if I skip a god or goddess that you have a cabin for, just yell and we'll go back. Okay, so let's start with Aphrodite. Is that everyone's first one?
Yeah.
Okay, let everyone hit me with one.
Okay.
John Silver.
Oh,
horny as hell.
You are so right.
Look, if you do a thumbs up, Zoom.
Wow, is that just for you?
Just for me, but only the one time.
Listeners, so we're on Zoom and Anne just thumbs up for something, and there was like a thumbs up graphic for a moment around her head.
Weird. That's
wow.
crazy.
It won't happen again.
No.
Okay, yeah. Well, so
John Silver's horny, so he's an Aphrodite.
Okay.
Also Max Caster.
I put all of the Dark Order in Dionysus's cabin.
I put some of them in there
works,
too.
yeah.
Yes.
Party boys.
I put Ricky Starks in Aphrodite.
I also have Ricky Starks. I have Matt Jackson in Aphrodite.
I put Matt Jackson in Aphrodite.
Really?
Yes.
See, I put him under Hera because it's like he's a mom and he's mean, you know?
And I did go back and forth, but I thought some of this loving but can also be jealous and wrathful was one description I had, and I thought, okay, Mr. Hottie. And kind of, he knows he's sexy. That felt a little...
Yeah. Unfortunately, the goddess of love, pleasure, passion, procreation, fertility, beauty, and desire. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Spoke to you? Yeah.
It spoke to me.
Sure.
I say what I see in my head.
Now I see why you didn't want to put Matt and Nick together. Yeah. Nick is not an Aphrodite boy.
I really struggled because I was like, I think
you don't want to split
the
them
fact
up.
that I didn't put them together means that they're not siblings. In this AU, which is like the worst thing that's ever happened.
God,
but
siblings in a way. I think you described that to us, I believe.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. If they're not siblings, they're like aunts and uncles. So I mean, it's all pretty close.
Maybe.
I put Anthony Bowens in there. I put Billy Gunn in there.
Okay.
Interesting. I can see Billy Gunn.
I put Anna Jay in there, but I did not feel that confident about it. I was just struggling to place her somewhere.
I put her in Hera's cabin because I was like, she's got like a queen gimmick. But I did put Penelope Ford in here. I put both Kip and Penelope in here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I can see that. Was I going to say something? Allie.
I also slightly, possibly controversially, put the Butcher and the Blade
in Aphrodite? Well, explain yourself. It's just show your work. Show your work. She's laughing too hard.
In Leather Daddy gimp gear.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah.
They have like a vibe. I don't know. I can't explain it.
I couldn't put them anywhere, but Aphrodite, I can see it as much as anyone.
I also put Roosh in there.
In Aphrodite.
I put Roosh and Hera for the same reason I put Matt Jackson.
Oh, interesting.
Hera, so
I put Roosh and Aries, but we'll get there soon. Okay. I think that's a good selection for Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did great work.
Yeah. You know what? It's an art, not a science, actually.
Yeah.
So it's about, especially with wrestlers, they're always changing their gimmick up and accentuating different things about their characters. So we're playing in the space, and of course, if you want to send us your own, cabin listings or whatever, please go ahead. We'll love to read them. Okay, I have Apollo next.
Yeah. So he is the god of sun, light, prophecy, philosophy, archery, tooth. The god of tooth.
Yeah.
Truth, inspiration, poetry, music, art, manly beauty, medicine, healing, and the plague.
I put a lot of hot boys in this one for the manly beauty.
Yes, I put Kota Ibushi in here.
I did.
Yes, I also put Kota Ibushi in here. Absolutely. I also put Dante and Darius in here, and
that's
Action
good.
And
Yes.
I also put Excalibur in here.
I will say, let me talk about two difficulties that I really had when trying to put wrestlers in these cabins. One, no god anywhere, none of the Greek gods anywhere on the internet that I could find are being described as like, this guy's slightly dim. Well, aside from like Ares kind of got described that way a little bit.
Ares,
but most of it's not like, this guy's just going along to get along. Like, that's not...
So in Percy Jackson, Apollo is the himbo god.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, really? Because Apollo in Greek mythology is like, there were so many people I was like, he can't go in Apollo because he's not smart enough. So that's very funny.
But I ran across that issue, but then I still put Jungle Boy in there because I was like, what? Well, that's where he's got to go, little sunshine boy, no matter how smart or stupid he is.
I put Mox in there for the beat poetry and the drop in little truth bombs on people.
I put Mox somewhere else, but I put Swerve in there for the lyricalness of his promos.
Wow, okay.
And some manly beauty.
I don't like. I could be convinced otherwise, but I put Malachi Black in there for the same reason.
In Apollo?
Yeah, because he does his little
gods
poetry
completely
blank verse.
Yeah.
Kind of
okay. Yeah. I think maybe
I put all the gods in Hades because I was just like, whatever. I can't overthink this, but yeah.
I put him somewhere else, but
I put Hangman under Apollo because he's so beautiful and
I put Hangman somewhere weird.
I put him
we'll get there.
Yeah, we're gonna unpack some things that we did.
I put MJF in Apollo.
I put Hikaru Shida here.
Oh,
I can see that.
Is that crazy? Is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy.
Okay. Wow. It's the other thing. Well, no, we'll talk about it later. I just have to try and remember. Okay.
Some of these guys have a very varied things that they are associated with.
So covering a lot of areas.
Yeah. So some of them for me got very lots of varying types of people are in here for varying reasons. They're not all my Aries boys are pretty similar, but my Dionysus boys are all over the place.
Yeah, for Aries, for me, there's a bunch of reasons why people got put in Aries. I
really struggled with that because the nature of how different people like violence is so different that I wanted there to be more than one Aries type category that I could put people in, but there weren't. But I also really was looking for a lot of descriptions of personalities that, it's where are they coming from? Again, just these users on Quora. But that was driving a lot of what I was getting up to because I was struggling, but I was thriving. I mean, my mind was expanding.
Right. I love that even now we're taking this so seriously.
Oh, yeah. So seriously. It's important to find their true 12 Olympian god that they fall under. I put Kenny Omega here, but I really did not feel... I had a hard time with Kenny. Kenny under his good boy mode.
Yeah.
When he's belt collector.
Sunshine Kenny, yeah.
Yeah.
I put Kenny and Zeus, but I could be talked.
I believe that oh no, I didn't. Well, I don't know where okay. I did a little something. We'll get to it later. Okay. Well, I did something a little different. Okay. So I have Aries next. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit me with some of the Aries.
Oh, okay.
I put all the dumb violence boys in here. So mine are Brian Cage, Dax Harwood, Jake Hager, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Particularly because the Wikipedia summary said the son of Zeus and Hera, all the other gods despised him except for Aphrodite. I was like, so this is where the unpleasant men went. So I also put Cash and Dax and I put Santana and Wardlow here. But some people I did put in Aries because they like violence, but not because they're unpleasant to be around.
Yeah.
And for them, I put Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Mox, Mercedes Martinez, Miro, Nyla Rose, and Hobbs.
Okay, I think we have a lot of overlap because I also had Britt and Jamie, I had Mox, I had Dax and Cash. Now this is something I really struggled with, is that the trickster figure in the Greek pantheon, Hermes, seems so fun. And I was like, I really need a rat trickster where I can put some of these men. For example, I put Adam Cole in Aries because of the viciousness, the two-facedness, that kind of thing. But it's it's really not about the violence. It's about power in a different way with Adam Cole. He really should be some kind of little snake boy, but I'm not going to put him in there with my sweet Hermes boys.
I threw all the rat boys in Hermes.
Okay, that makes sense. I just didn't. I was in there with some who are so much better natured than you. I don't know.
I mean, There is like,
there's
some of
good,
these
but
gods,
there's
they've just
good
got a lot of aspects to them.
Every cabin has people that are in there for different reasons. So it just
I read the whole Ares Wikipedia page after we were watching Percy Jackson because I was like, I don't remember very many like myths about Ares, and the Wikipedia page is basically like there hardly are any because nobody liked him, and the Greeks thought he was like really just like wild and gross kind of, and like Athena was like the good like battlefield strategy one, and Ares was just like, oh, like people who just like to chop people up and stuff. But the one myth there is that he and Aphrodite had a love affair, but Aphrodite was married to Hephaestus, and Hephaestus was really smart, so he caught them in a net while they were doing it naked, and then brought all the other gods to like look at them and laugh at them while they were naked in the net.
I didn't know that I was supposed to be putting the pervs in Hephaestus or whatever.
I know.
So that's the perv cabin. Okay, well now I
guess. Know. Well, he crafted a beautiful net,
and the craftsman. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Did any of us put Adam Copeland in Ares?
I did.
Oh, you did?
No,
I did.
I didn't.
Because of the Two-Face thing. I was like, to me, he seems like he's going that way. So I threw him in there. I put MJF in there too. Because I was like, he just like, kind of, it seems like Ares is not well liked. So she said delicately.
Wow. quite a burn. Yeah.
To me, it seemed like Ares was not well liked.
Not popular amongst his peers.
Okay, the next one that I have is Artemis.
And this is the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, the virginity, the moon, archery, childbirth, protection, and again, the plague.
Why are so many people the gods? Well, I guess they were dealing with some
with
stuff,
a lot of plague, I guess.
Yeah. The gods who do healing also they can make you disease too. It's like they just have power over disease.
Two sides of a coin. So, I can see that.
So did you guys put all the virgins here?
I put Darby.
I did put Darby in there. Yeah,
I put Darby. Jungle Boy, Riho, Red Velvet, Julia Hart.
I put Julia Hart in there. Yeah.
I put Statlander, that alien wilderness, outside it all the vibes.
For some reason, that I can't really replicate right now, I did put Bryan Danielson in there. I guess maybe because of the wild. The wild, he's out there and loving nature, and I think he does have a certain alien quality. I've certainly said that about his body before. Sure. The first time. I put Abaddon in there.
Interesting.
I put Danny Garcia in there.
Interesting.
The lion cub. I'm not sure I put him anywhere. I think I might have missed him. I really felt fond of this category, I have to say. I was like, I want to see those freaks interact. Yeah. I want to see them dancing under the moon. Okay. All right. My next one I have here is Athena.
Okay, and this is, sorry, my cat is in the way, goddess of wisdom, handicraft, and warfare.
I wish I was seeing more handicrafts from people in wrestling.
I put Keith Lee in here. I put Christopher Daniels, Aubrey Edwards.
I put Aubrey in there.
I put Bryan Danielson in here.
Okay.
I thought about
I can't explain why I did this, and I actually don't stand with my own decision now, but I, for some reason, put Ty Conti in here.
Huh.
I don't think I stand by that now.
I put Chris in here.
I could see that. I put Excalibur in here.
I think I put him somewhere more pathetic. I was like trying to find somewhere, like I was like, that's a beaten down kind of figure.
I put Deonna Purrazzo in here. I don't really remember why, but
you wanted to go somewhere like strong and cool, but I was like, I don't know that I understand your essential nature well enough yet.
I really was meditating on Deonna Purrazzo for a while, being like, I can't just put her in opposition to Tony. What is she to me?
Yeah, everyone listening, this is all we did all day for the past 24 hours. This is all we've been thinking about. You can tell in our scholarly discourse here, we were meditating on these.
And my boss, do not interrupt.
Leah made a little Excel spreadsheet that I used. I mean, we went all out. Okay. Any other standouts for Athena? No? Okay. So the next one I have here, I'm so worried about my pronunciation throughout here. Demeter?
That's how I would say it too, but
Okay.
Ian, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me read the thing. So she is where is she? She is the goddess of the harvest, fertility, agriculture, nature, and the seasons. She presided over grains and the fertility of the earth. Okay, so I put Hangman here because I was like, he's very seasonal. He's very like, he's earthy.
I love when Hangman season comes around. You know, you go out
Every
to get your
Hangman season. It's about who he is in that season. You know, you're saying he's in touch with the earth.
Yeah.
I put everyone here that felt like wholesome to me. So it was like Anthony Bowens, Dante Martin, like Jungle Boy. They're all cereal boys. They're out there in the harvest, you know.
I put Keith Lee in here. I think because of that kind of like mild contemplative quality, and I actually put Tony Khan in here because I said, is not AEW the Fertile Crescent of wrestling?
I did something so disrespectful, which is that I put Tony Khan in miscellaneous.
That feels right. I can see it. Tony Khan, it does feel like he would be in there like, why won't my father claim me?
It's one of those things where it's like, in his position, he should be kind of king of the gods, but there's absolutely no way he's not going in Zeus.
He's certainly not going in Zeus. No, I don't see that for him. Any other standouts for Demeter?
No, I just had Hangman in there.
She's alone. Not the most interesting god, I'm afraid.
Okay, let's go on to Dionysus.
So, he's the god of wine, the grapevine, fertility, festivity, ecstasy, madness, and resurrection. Patron god of the arts of theater, the art of theater. So I put all of Dark Order. So Alex, John, and Evil Uno, and then I put the guns.
I put the guns.
I put the guns.
Yeah. I put Max Caster. I put Kyle O'Reilly. I put Danhausen. And then I put Jay White. Do you feel good about Jay White in there?
I didn't put him in there, but I was playing with it. I think I just kind of left it on the cutting room floor. I was like, I can't make a decision. Yeah. I think that he actually he's another one where I was like, who is the snake god? Like, who is the freak snake? But
yeah,
I feel like we haven't really gotten to see Jay White's essential nature, except a little bit in the C2. Yeah. So I felt a little incapable of saying it. But Juice Robinson was the first man I threw in there. I said, yeah. Mr. Animal, hello, he's going into Dionysus's cabin.
Yeah. I put Hangman when he's in his alcoholic form.
That is true.
True.
And on a totally different note, Eddie Kingston I put in here in the sort of Mad King, like divine ecstasy, kind of madness, revelation aspect of Dionysus. I also put MJF in here because he's the god of theater.
Okay.
So Tony Storm for the madness.
I put Tony Storm as well. I put Tony Storm and Danhausen in here for the theater part of it.
That does make sense. I don't remember where I put Tony, so I'm a little worried about that. But I also put Kip Sabian in here because he's my little gay wizard. So he's a theatrical child. And I did put Nyla Rose in here because she likes to have fun.
She does like to have fun. This is the party cabin.
When Kenny Omega's in his belt collector insane form, I also would put him in Dionysus.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. I think it's like it just felt so. Well, no, I don't think I can clarify my thoughts on it, but I can see that. Okay, Hades.
I didn't do him because I was following.
Oh, you were following the rules. I, for some reason, put Samoa Joe in there. And I don't know. It was because of some personality thing I read.
It kind of feels right. I think there was like a detached kind of passive god situation in one of the descriptions.
Yes.
I put like Malachi Black and Abaddon and Danhausen in here, just like goss. But I also put Luchasaurus, and I don't know why it just felt like a vibe kind of.
I played with that too, and then I was like, he doesn't really have like enough like self-direction for me to really like that, but I was like drawn to it for some reason. I think I refused to put Malachi there because I thought he'd like it too much. I was feeling very vengeful in my own way, and I was like, I won't be putting that little goth where I know he wants to go.
Where did you put him with
Where did I put him? Maybe I didn't. I think I left him out. I did not put him in.
I do like thinking of you being like, I'm putting him in Aries. He'll hate it.
He'll hate it there. He's going to have a bad time. Now, this is interesting. Oh, go ahead.
And did I hear you say that you put Taz in here?
I did, yeah. I hate Taz, and I was like,
say more.
I was just like, that's a tough one. But they were like, Hades, he's kind of, like, he's not bad. He's just down there kind of detached from things, like, observing them. So I was like,
giving a little bit of Hercules down there. Hades, a performer.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I like the idea of Hades' commentary.
Okay, now this is an outlier. I had gotten a list of gods from somewhere, and Hecate was on there. And so I was playing in the space, and for some reason I said, that's Hook. And I put
Really? The goddess of, like, witchcraft and the underworld.
Yes, I'm aware, Anne. Thank you. Yes. It was because of my description explaining about how mysterious and secretive she can be and how she can both bless or curse. And I said, sounds like Hook to me.
I mean, when you put it like that, yeah.
I'm going to say something so troubling, which is that I learned a lot about Hecate from Charmed.
Wow. Well, we learn where we learned. Am I right or am I right? Learning happens when it happens, and it can't happen before and it can't happen after. So you're welcome.
So true.
Now, Hephaestus?
I think so. Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. One of those in the realm.
The master blacksmith and craftsman of the god of the forge, craftsmanship, invention, fire, and volcanoes. The son of Hera, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so the thing about Percy Jackson is that he's so ugly that Hera threw him off like a mountain. So I was just like...
I'm worried.
That to be the Jake Hager.
I did put Jake Hager in there, yes. I did put him in there, yeah. Anyone who, like, kind of that tall lurch, like, quality. I actually put the Butcher in there, too, for the same reason. Just because of the size, really.
You guys really hit the ugly aspect of him.
But then I also put Excalibur and Tony Schiavone in there because I think they're beleaguered craftsmen on commentary. Yeah.
I put Bryan Danielson in there as a
You put Bryan Danielson in there?
Huh. Wow. Okay.
And he's
interesting.
Got an interesting body. I put Darby Allin in there too as an art film creator. These were people I struggled with.
Yeah. This kind of your catch-all category?
But I had reasons. I think these are craftspeople in general.
That's
but
true.
Yeah, I ended up throwing Orange Cassidy in there, but I was just like, well... Best Matt didn't have a good reason to put him elsewhere. So
I love the idea of, like, when you think about Darby's essential nature and you're like, artist, of course, crafts. Of course, because of his lovingly crafted art.
He's doing stuff. You can't deny he's out there doing creative
you know
work.
I never would. You know I would never deny it. Okay, the next one I have here is Hera.
And this is the queen of the gods, the goddess of marriage, women, childbirth, and family. She frequently tried to get revenge on Zeus's lovers and their children, which, like, the revenge thing was important to me in some of these decisions. I put Adam Copeland in here.
Okay. Kind of a viciousness. I can see that. I didn't feel like I had a firm handle on some of the personality aspects here.
I put Christian as Zeus. So Hera, Adam Copeland is his partner who is getting revenge on him for his bad behaviors.
I like that very much, Leah. I like what you've done.
I put Matt Menard in there for
I also
similar
put
reasons.
Matt Menard in there. He is the god of marriage.
Yeah, exactly. I had a certain amount of people who I put in here because they kind of have a perpetually like cucked energy, you know. They're always Bryce Wensberg, Brandon Cutler, just kind of like nurturing but like put upon, you know.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to see like what like description I was using. Oh, I had like leaned a lot more towards a kind of a harsher characterization. So I put Soraya in there and I put Thunder Rosa in there.
Too.
I think, that's the thing is that like she is she can be harsher. I also put Soraya in here. Yeah. I put Deanna.
Wouldn't you be harsh if you were dealing with Zeus?
So true.
Yeah. It's very deserved.
If your brother husband kept cheating on you, yeah, I'd be mad.
I wouldn't like it personally.
No, it's not right.
It's not how brother husbands should behave, really.
I put Britt Baker in there as sort of a mean queen-like figure. You know?
I can see that. Yeah. I think like that makes a lot of sense, but there's something about the particular viciousness she can bring out that I put in Aries, but I could see it here maybe even better.
Yeah.
All right. I have Hermes next.
And Hermes is the messenger of the gods, god of travel, commerce, communication, borders, eloquence, diplomacy, thieves, and games. So I put all of best friends in here.
Okay, I think I put OC, Rocky, and Trent in here, but I did a little something different with Dust. I really went back and forth, and I think he would prefer to be in a cabin with his friends. But I did put the rest of them in here, and I put Nick Jackson in here.
Interesting.
I really struggled with Nick.
I did too. And when I explain what I did later, I don't know if it's gonna work. I think it's gonna be like Darby Allin Hephaestus, where you both look at me and are like, okay.
I think that the simple fact is that Nick wants to be in Matt's cabin, and that if only one brother were going to kind of set the tone of like, this is the cabin that we're in, it would be Matt. So very difficult
and it would be Matt to walk into this camp and be like, this is Nick, he's coming with me. And they're like, he belongs to another god. And he's like, no. he'll be coming with me.
I also put Taz in here for some reason. I don't know why. Just his energy, I think.
I put Yuta in here. I put Ray Phoenix in here.
I did put Yuta in here, yeah.
I put Ray Phoenix in there, too.
I put Ortiz in here. I put AR Fox in here, but only kind of sarcastically because I was like, the god of travel.
Wow. If everyone who had a bad visa situation got put in here, it'd be like half the
packed out category. Get Kyle in there.
I put all the little rat boys. So I put like Adam Cole, Jay White, Kylo. I put Kip and Penelope in here. I put Chris Jericho in here because of his many faces and his reinvention. But it was, thought about Zeus as well. But,
I can see that. Okay. Now I did. Oh yeah, this is not on our list of the main ones, but I did Hestia. I don't know if that's how you say it. And I did put Bryce in there. That's the only person I put in there.
The only one.
And I said Bryce is the goddess of the hearth. So that felt right to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's just a sweet little guy. I did look at the Wikipedia page for Hestia that also was like, not in very many stories because the hearth don't go nowhere.
Yeah, people just worshipped her at home. It was nice, sweet and domestic.
In the lore of Percy Jackson, she was the 12th Olympian until Dionysus got made into a god, and she gave up her place for him because she essentially was like, well, like I'll just be here no matter what. I'll just be tending the fires of Olympia.
By my old hearth, and don't worry about old Hestia. Classic stuff. Okay, the next one I have here is Poseidon.
Okay, so the description, Anne was not wrong that it's just like water. So god of the seas, water, storms, hurricanes, earthquakes, and horses. So my reasoning here was that like the sea sometimes can be like absolutely crazy and chaotic and tsunamis or whatever, and sometimes it's very, very calm and you can't like really trust that you understand what's going on with it. It's kind of, you can't see all the way to the bottom. So I have put Eddie Kingston,
I put Eddie in there,
Nick Jackson, and Pac in here.
I put Pac in there
because he comes from the sea. Yeah.
Pac literally is Poseidon. I was like, he doesn't go in the cabin. He is Poseidon.
He is Poseidon.
The only two I put in there were Pac and Big Bill because of his wet jeans. That was just like wet That's good.
Now, I did something a little crazy here, which is just that I had one of my description of Poseidon that I had here, playing on, the nature of the sea. Poseidon, moody, tempestuous, clever, creative, fond of beauty and mystery. Wow, interesting. So I threw quite a few people in here, actually, because I love the sea, I think. So I put Swerve in here. I put Kenny in here. I seem to have put Jay White in here. I put Hangman in here. And
Wow. It's a fun little gang in your Poseidon.
And I did put Mommy's little baby Chuck Taylor in here. Now, you may say that's insane. But it was only because I was like, which of these gods is kind of a low energy sulker? And it was none of them, but Moody is what I was looking for. I was just looking for that specific energy that Dustin brings sometimes that's like, there's a lot going on in my head right now that you're not going to understand until I suddenly say something kind of mean in an interview. So I put him in Poseidon, and I know he's not happy about it. I know he's like, all my friends are
he's furious at you about it, but I do kind of get it. Because I also think that, so Poseidon is the middle brother between Hades and Zeus, and he's, trying to keep the peace, which is something that Chuck Taylor ends up
absolutely
doing between OC and Greg.
OC and Greg, yeah.
The fact that Wikipedia, in their little, 3-sentence summary, called him, quote-unquote, the middle brother was insane to me. It was just I don't think that's, are we doing birth order stuff with the gods? What's going on here?
Wow.
I put Chuck Taylor with Persephone because he's always been abducted and I never see him.
That's so
down in the underworld.
Oh, that's right.
I just think about him as Miro's butler, and we are Demeter. Just
we are
walking
Demeter,
the earth,
and he's
grieving.
Persephone. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Wow. Well, he has many faces here, and I don't think any of us were wrong. We all captured a little something. And then the final category I have is Zeus.
Zeus is the king of the gods and ruler of Mount Olympus, god of the sky, lightning, thunder, law, order, and justice. So I put Kenny, Christian Cage, Chris Statlander, Penta. I don't know if I stand by that.
I put Penta in there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'm glad
Interesting that we all,
it's very funny.
I put Sting and Thunder Rosa.
I put Sting in there. I put Chris Jericho in there. I think just because of the sense of self-importance.
No, I could see it. I put Chris Jericho and Hera because I put Jake Hager as Hephaestus. And it was Chris Jericho threw Jake Hager off a mountain. That was the only reason I did it.
I still can't believe that finally somebody else got Jake Hager in the divorce.
I know.
I never thought that they would ever be a part. It hurts me, to be honest. I also played with putting Christian in here. I really struggled with trying to put Christian somewhere that I felt suited that kind of cold, dispassionate quality that he has sometimes. You know, his kind of parish energy. But
I know, but
I put Christian here too. The patriarchy.
I'm not pushing back. To be clear, I'm saying I was really torn.
Yeah.
I can see how you went that way.
Yeah.
I put Nick Jackson in here as just sort of orderly, but also a bit of a hothead,
Yeah.
So,
okay, yeah.
I see it.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought Jon Moxley could go in here.
He could. If it wasn't for how much he loves violence, I would have put him here because he does. I mean,
he loves violence so much.
He loves it so much.
He's just a real brawler.
Miro could go in here too, kind of unpredictable.
I'm not happy with
majestic.
my Kenny. I still am not happy. I'm gonna have to keep playing with Kenny.
I'm happy. With Poseidon, I created quite a little cabin. They are not getting along in there. They are not having fun. I put Tony Storm in there too for some reason. I think because of the mercurial quality. It is rough in there. Dustin wants out of there. He does not like it. He is not having fun.
He's hoping to get abducted.
Yeah, I know. He's sticking himself outside the cabin, free to a good home. Cowboy, take me away. Okay. Well, did I miss any categories?
Nope.
No?
This is the time
we
of
did
my
a great
life.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Again, send us your ideas or your criticisms. As you can tell, it's not as easy as you might think. I mean,
you're going to go down that list and you're going to hit, Penta, and you're going to be like, God, I don't know. And then you're all going to put him in Zeus, but like,
I know. I feel really
so
relieved
funny
that
that
put
that's
him
what
in
we did.
Zeus because I wasn't sure that I could really articulate why. It just felt right.
it is something about his energy.
Just
Kind
got
of
a
like you could just see
majesty
Penta
to
being
him.
like, I am a son of Zeus, of course. Like he just feels so confident in it.
Yeah. I do think that the Greeks should have had a better trickster god, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like he seems really like I like that there was some place for like the nice tricksters, but it doesn't feel like the Greeks really embraced the idea that some gods are fucking rats. Little rats.
I bet there's like a good minor god, but like I don't know them well enough.
Yeah. They're really in these top level gods. There aren't enough like
the
silly
top
little
level gods.
guys, I would
Yeah.
say.
I went looking for the Greek god of deceit, and I did find one who was the son or daughter, now I can't remember, of the god of dark and the god of night or something. Well, not God. One was a goddess. But anyway, so don't worry about that. It's true they were coming out of thighs and stuff. So why couldn't two gods make a baby if they wanted to? If it's just going to pop out of a body part. But
right. They're transforming into swans, and
they're doing all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I was reading the Wikipedia page, and then the Wikipedia was just like, didn't really show up in the lore. And it was like, okay, well, it's just like a kind of like an original character that someone made up at some point and just like didn't really get integrated into the canon.
I really want to like really assertively tell someone to be like, the Greek gods were not silly enough. I don't think that, that's something that they've addressed.
Yeah, they really weren't thinking about people casting them as wrestlers when they're coming up with their religion.
So disappointing. Okay, well, I think on that note, I've been Allie.
I've been Ann.
And I've been Leah.
This is Tunnel Talk. Our theme is by Chris Corkin. You can find us on Twitter and Tumblr at Tunnel Talk Pod, via email at tunneltalkpod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. I will say we have, I think, three 5-star review requests in the tank, so we'll get an episode scheduled soon. If you want us to watch something, we're so excited about everything that we have.
We have 3 really good ones. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you guys sent us some great suggestions. So if you ever want us to watch something, just give us a 5-star review and let us know what you want us to watch. You can also find us on the Social Suplex Network feed, where you can check out some of the other great podcasts on the network. And you can find us on the Social Suplex Network Discord, too, as Leah mentioned, where we sometimes are asking for game requests. And as always, please come back next week. My God. I did almost at one point. This is the theory that I then had about Matt and Nick. I was like, maybe they just have the same mother, two different parents, but same mother.
And then raised together. Yeah.
Of course, raised together.
Right.
Yeah.
By their mother, a godfucker.
Super godfucker. Yeah. I couldn't get
Big
enough.
time godfucker.
Where did you put Nick?
In Poseidon.
Oh yeah, you're
So
all Poseidon.
they wouldn't. The parenting wouldn't work out there.
Why?
Because Matt's Matt's
Because
got a
Poseidon's
mom,
a boy,
and Nick's
I don't care because you said that Athena is getting people pregnant by like sticking her finger in their brain. So I don't see why she can't stick her finger in a woman's brain and give her the thought of a baby, and the woman has a baby. What's wrong with that?
If it was Athena, that'd be one thing, but Aphrodite,
one of them put a penis in, and one of them put a thought in the brain.
Aphrodite's fucking.
Aphrodite fucking, but still putting a baby in there. Don't you tell me she can't do it. Don't you tell me she doesn't have the ability. Don't you tell me that. Don't you ever say that to me.
She finger fucks a baby into Matt's mom?
She does. Yes, she fucking does. And that's how Matt Jackson is born.
I'm putting this at the end of the episode after the credits.
And finger fucks a baby into Matt's mom.
It's not going to be the cold open. It's going to be after the credits.
No one will hear it.
No one will hear it.
It's the hot blows.